Is Project Zomboid any good? The short answer is yes. You'll die over and over again screaming at your computer about how unfair this game is. But that's the entire point of the game. Life is not fair. The apocalypse is deadly. You are starving and bleeding and desperately need a cigarette. This is how you died. You start as you would in a real apocalypse, in some random person's living room surrounded by angry zombies. Depending on which difficulty level you chose, this experience can range from unnerving to downright terrifying. Either way, it's time to get surviving. Search your surroundings, hope for a weapon that isn't a gun, find a pistol with 3 bullets and a frying pan. Run outside, miss 3 times, swing a frying pan at a zombie hopelessly, and then get eaten alive. Start over. Melee weapons in Project Zomboid dominate until the late game. A gun is less of a defensive weapon and more of a zombie dinner bell. Think of it as bringing bubblegum to class. Unless you have 1 bullet for every zombie, you should keep that gun in its holster. If you forget this rule, then the next several minutes will involve a lot of fleeing, huffing, puffing, and frequently dying. This game's focus is on how you died. Did you crawl through a broken window and die from blood loss? Put on too many layers and run around in the Georgia sun, dying of heat stroke? Tie off a minor cut with a dirty rag and get infected with regular bacteria? Die from having no access to healthcare like most Americans do? Get lost in the woods, get cut to death by a million razor-sharp tree branches that populate the forest for some reason? Drive your vehicle very quickly and have all your organs burst when you smash your car into the side of a gas station? Or did an enormous horde of zombies rip you limb from limb? Surviving in Project Zomboid is a real challenge. While the city is filled with resources, it is also filled with zombies. An enterprising player will avoid the city at all costs until they've established a base out in the woods. Then again, maybe you just need some ropes and a sledgehammer to turn a 2-story house into an impregnable fortress of solitude. No matter which option you choose, the multiplayer version of the game is where the real madness starts. While single player provides a sense of fear and isolation that is as profound as it is nerve-wracking, the multiplayer game allows for grand projects. Groups of survivors working towards a common goal, being knifed in the back by your friends because they think that it is funny. All the usual multiplayer nonsense. But the Project Zomboid community is largely friendly and respectful. They seem aware of the fact that their servers cannot afford to lose any players due to bad behavior. The crafting system is neither intuitive nor straightforward. Use Wikipedia if you want to figure out what is going on. In many ways, this game is hard, in the way that life is hard. If you don't have someone to teach you, then you'll just have to figure it out through trial, error, and Google search tools. Like a single-parent household simulator, but with zombies. Your skills improve by using them. Read a book to learn skills faster and watch television to upgrade your skills for free. Just like in real life. In Project Zomboid, the Learning Channel is good for learning cooking and making fun of the morbidly obese. Speaking of morbidly obese, choose morbidly obese for a starting attribute. It makes you famine resistant, and apart from the fact that every single thing you do is slow and sweaty, it has very few negative consequences. You can choose from an enormous number of positive and negative traits. I would recommend brave, lucky, and thick-skinned. When you panic in this game, it really messes up your stats, and thick-skinned helps reduce the likelihood that a bite will break the skin. Lucky is how you find the best gear. The rest of your attributes depend heavily on your playstyle. Don't invest too much time in making your first character. If they live more than 5 minutes, it will be a miracle. Anything you see in the game can be picked up, worn, used, manipulated, torn down, burned, or broken. Cars can be repaired, destroyed, filled with gas, driven into hordes of zombies. Houses can be remodeled, tree forts built, fishing docks constructed. Above all, the fear you feel around losing your characters is real. Every choice can end in disaster. This makes each playthrough feel important, and each character meaningful. Project Zomboid is at times gripping, tense, thoughtful, and occasionally dull. A brilliant game worth a relatively low cost of entry. Just never get comfortable with any character, because this is how you died.